Unlike Cubby, we won't vanish on you. My name is TJ, joined by Matt and Iberia Daniel. That was genuinely horrifying.
I think I'm going to be haunted by that for the rest of my life, TJ.
Yeah.
Honestly, just ever so slightly.
Kind of terrifying. Grand Finals day, though. That's not terrifying. That's cause for celebration. No org versus Barrage Esports. We got to cast the Barrage series yesterday, the semi-final. And I think it really shapes the narrative coming into today and, of course, Barrage's grand final, because they are the team that carries the expectations.
And I think what we saw yesterday was that inside you there are two barrages. One of them struggles to face off against Solafide in the best of 5, and the other one just straight up clean sweeps game number 5 in 26 minutes. And I think we're really hoping that to get a competitive series today, Barrage are bringing that game 5 form, because that's what's going to be necessary to face down no org.
And it is those tale of two barrages, because I think, as I said at the time, if you go back and find our call from the end of that game, if we see that barrage in game 5, this is a hell of a series. But if we see the Barrage that did struggle to face Solafide, that did look like they couldn't play a macro game well enough to consistently get engages, that did look lost as to how to play through the bottom lane where Gorica has been struggling all throughout the Cup season, then I think the weight of expectations are on the returning champions of no org. 5Fire, this would be the second time he has won Challengers Uprising. And this would be the team, of course, that has looked so good across the rest of the SGC season.
They've been so dominant, and it's on the levels where we even had a discussion prior to Desk going live where people were in the back rooms being like, you know what? I bet they can take on CLG. I bet they can take on the Academy teams. And of those, I think the Academy team's a little bit more reasonable, but they are that level of dominant here within the amateur scene.
Yeah, and to be clear, I think I do disagree with that. I do think whilst no org are very, very good, they are, I would say, ready for Academy. There is a lot of promising talent on this team. There's a lot of talent that has made it up to the LCS before and maybe gotten overlooked. This is a testament to the environment they have created and the team they have built. And if these individual pieces are going to move up, which I think they're ready for, then we are looking for them to participate in LCS within the next couple of years. This hopefully isn't going to be a direct promotion for any of them. Not that I wish them ill, but exactly that. Let's get into it. Draft phase, game number 1.
Sure is, TJ. Sorry, took a while to process your statements there. No org. What I'd really like to see here, last ban slot, I know it's not very traditional, but take away the Orianna. That was literally all that APA was playing through last series that felt impactful. Yeah, he had the Karma, he had the Ziggs, both of them felt kind of flat to my eye. So I think if you take away that Orianna, you give 5Fire a much better chance of winning away. Jinx is good too, though.
I like this more, though. So I actually, we've talked about this mid-match of Bot5Fire. I actually really like 5Fire and APA. I think this should be a really good game for 5Fire. Unless APA is able to bring some of the form he did yesterday, and I don't think that was an Orianna difference. I think that was an Orianna Hecarim difference. Now, we can see there is not going to be an Orianna Hecarim, so where was the secondary threat over on Barrage? Well, it was in the bottom lane from that Jinx. Gorica won't get the Jinx. Barrage on the opposite side, target their bans. Kind of scatter shot, getting rid of the most powerful stuff. Not really anything deliberate or target bans to be taken away. And we'll grab the Udyr on first cycle. And I want to see what we get in the Barrage jungle and in the Barrage mid. That's where I'm looking. That is where their gameplay normally comes from, between Fnatic and APA.
My excitement at seeing Udyr has dropped off a freaking cliff, man, over the past few weeks. I've been like, Udyr, he's back. Finally, he's a champion again. I remember SKT Tom in Season 4, who was so good, and now we're seeing it every game. Not surprising. It plays directly to Anda's playstyle, who wants to go very aggressive in the jungle, wants to just shut down Fnatic immediately. But boy, sick of seeing it.
Okay, so speaking of bottom lanes you're sick of seeing, Barrage have just drafted the bot lane focus bottom lane. Kaiserel And NoOrg have just drafted the top lane focused bottom lane, Senna and TK. This is about as bog standard as you can get. It does indicate this Senna TK, which is incredibly powerful right now. Check out that win rate. Will be on the weak side. NoOrg tend to play towards Viper on the top side. Barrage do get the Galio here, and you're right to point it out, man, because that gives them the resources to roam more with APA, and from maybe to exert that presence down towards the bottom lane, where they are perhaps trying to accelerate Gorika's Kai'Sa.
Yeah, baby, we've been waiting for it. This is what I've really been looking for from APA. We never saw it last series because Galio was banned out every game. But finally we get APA on an actual roaming champion. Orianna don't cut it. That is not a roaming champion. And just because Ziggs has a near global ult does not mean that counts. I want to see APA on the Galio. I want to see him ult in and change some team fights. Let's go.
Both of them were weirdly roaming when APA played them. And that is all the more reason to be excited for his Galio. It does look like we had a technical issue here with the draft. We will get that resolved or move past it, whatever happens first. From what we did see in that first cycle, we're right back into it. Shout outs to our production team. From what we did see in this first cycle, I am favoring Barrage, which is not the lean that the Descan, which is not the lean that I had coming in. But I think they are forcing NoOrg to respond, and this is part of that response. We get a rise in mid, which will be decent versus the Galio, but will also allow some mobility in response. With the Twisted Fate banned out, which Barrage did too, it is the closest 5-fire can get to having a global roaming response to what APA pull out. NoOrg are flashing the A-Soul there to taunt APA, and will eventually draft Viper, who is traditionally one of their carries, and Gangplank for the top side.
You read that so negatively, TJ. It's just paying respect to the man. APA, a brilliant soul champion, 5-fire's nemesis. I tried to pitch both of them on Nunu mid last split. Neither of them took the bait, unfortunately for all of us.
5-fire was interested. I heard that conversation. He was like, tell me more.
We still have the clips. Still got them.
We will complete
challenger.
Our draft here. It is going to be Aatrox on the top side for Barrage. They complete things with PCL on a pretty standard pick. And they will get GP into Aatrox, which is perfectly fine. And they are playing with that Aatrox as the weak side through this Kai'Sa rel down bottom. They'll try to support that with the Galio. I think it is critical that Graves has been pulled out here for Fnatic. That is not the hard carry champion of a Hecarim that we did see yesterday. And I'm already a little concerned for what Anders Udyr might be able to accomplish there.
I mean, I think Graves can be a hard carry as well if you're aggressive enough in the early game. And we've seen Fnatic jungle fantastically yesterday. But I think more importantly, going back to the Aatrox pick, this is the PCL pick. I don't think this is a common pick. This is just what PCL plays. Last series, I believe it was 4 out of 5 games on that Aatrox. And just, this is what he plays. He will play it into counter picks. He'll play it into skill matchups. He'll play it as a counter pick because he is so comfortable on it. And that's why I'm genuinely excited to see it. I want to see PCL shine, and this is the champion for him to do that on.
And let's be clear about the stakes of that, because if PCL can survive being weak side, if PCL can bring that extra level we saw in a couple of games of their series versus Solafida yesterday, then there is an extra weapon in the Barrage toolkit. They can leave PCL alone, he can trade even, and they can play through the rest of their map, because NoOrg are going to be pouring all of their resources up towards that top side. He survived that yesterday. There were a couple of games where it was full resources to Dokla, and PCL managed to trade even, managed to stay alive, and those were the games that got Barrage here.
This is the PCL test. This game number 1, this top lane, this most important lane, I'd argue here. Because you're right, we have seen him play weak side, but that's against Dokla, who I would argue is a less threatening top laner than Viper. We have seen NoOrg win so many games just off Viper being good in the top lane and getting a few ganks from Anda. Anda puts pressure on Fnatic in this game, the top side jungle, forces him away from the top lane. Viper might run away with this entire lane and then the game. It's on PCL to stop that from happening. So there is so much riding on his shoulders.
Yeah. I want to draw towards what Barrage are trying to do as well, because obviously we have already built up what No Org would like to do. Barrage need to get something towards their bottom side early. And I would not have called it to be quite this early, Matt.
No,
this is not a case of we're going to win lane. Barrage are starting things off with a level 1 invade.
I don't like this. I really am not feeling comfortable with this. APA and the entirety of Barrage are stuck here on the side of the red buff. They're getting pincered here. Taunt coming out after the flash will not land on anyone. Meanwhile, the engage from Winter finds value, forces the flash out there. APA, though, going to be first blood for the side of No Org. Winter getting chased down, flashes over the wall. Fnatic going to be forced to blow flash as well. Instead, we'll just quick draw.
TP!
The TP!
Back from
What's
base.
that doing?
APA all the way back, will respawn, going with the taunt. He finds Anda, very low Anda. They can't chase down the kill. Anda will survive. Value has no HP, will blow a deep engage. The Pyromancy won't keep them alive, but the shielding keeps them up for long enough that they're looking for more. But APA can't chase Pixie underneath the turret. He won't even try. This is a disaster. Barrage have lost everything. That is 4 kills in the first minute of the game.
Well, TJ, that was a great game number 1. I'm looking forward to seeing what Barrage is going to be able to pull out in game number 2. Unfortunately, it seems like we're going to have at least a 13-minute delay on that.
This is the worst early game I've ever seen in a cup season.
And that's saying a lot. We've seen some terrible early games.
We had a game earlier where I had to clarify that wasn't the worst early game I'd seen in Cup. This is it. This is a new low. Barrage. I don't know how you could possibly... And he TP's back in, and they don't get this onto Anda. Anda's able to get away. Oh.
This is like the sunk cost fallacy taken form, right? This is you thinking, this is APA being like, you know what? That team fight hurt me, but I know it still loves me. I'm going to give it one more shot. No, APA. Cut it loose. Get it out of your life.
Oh, but they get 5 fire.
How did they find 5 fire? How did they... Oh, I need to sit down. I'm sitting down.
He has just sat down. There's a beanbag behind him. He is splayed out. Barrage do manage to get a kill back. No, I don't think that's going to entirely mitigate what has just happened to them. There is still a 1.8k gold difference that No Org have gotten at the 2-minute mark, so you do still need to be aware of that, but they've stabilized a weird amount.
Meanwhile, that stability under threat, APA going to have to walk away from this one. Will find the way under tower. Lots of damage from 5 fire, secures the kill.
PCL does not have a CS lead, if you're wondering. This top lane has been going pretty strong for him, though. He might be able to get the kill. Has to force the flash. Man, poor PCL. He's just watching the kill feed, and he's like, guys!
It's really funny, too, because PCL's like doing fine in lane.
Yeah. Check this out. Engage onto 5 fire was as simple as that. 5 fire stepped up too far. APA found the opportunity.
At least they're not being dissuaded from this, right? This is one of the things that I have to give Barrage credit for. We saw it in the semifinals yesterday. They just do not give up. Even when they're behind, they keep their heads on their shoulders. They're like mildly decapitated at this point, but they're still hanging in there, you know?
There's a... Yeah, I'm... If Barrage survive this, they have the strongest mental in amateur. I will say that. However, this isn't a question of mental, because to be clear, the only mental thing here is the lead that No Org have during this early game. 5 fire is now 3-1-2. Anda is 0-0-2 with a CS advantage. There is no way to sugarcoat this. I don't know what you do as Barrage. So, they try and force the play on top side, grab Viper. He's down to flash. They'll engage. Viper behind the turret, has the citrus, will stay alive. It's a 1-for-1 trade. PCL survives.
He gets out. He's safe. Everything's okay. Oh my God. That was an emotional roller coaster, just like every single fight has been this game. I was convinced they had him on the run. PCL had that beautiful move down into the river, baiting Viper to move forward. There's a dragon going down, because of course there is.
Fight
Early game don't stop, TJ.
That's my question, yeah. It doesn't look like there will be a contest. No org will successfully take the Drake. Barrage, do not go for it.
Look at this. 0-3-1 in the mid lane. Like, he's still making plays. He's still attempting them. And, again, that's great. That's the unshakable mental we want to see. We know APA has. But that's a really bad start to a lane against Rise, who is one of the super late game scaling mages still. I think we're on rework number 5. I'm trying to track.
It is also a really bad start to lane against 5fire, who is one of the mid-lane scaling mid laners, who consistently will take over a game if you give them an early lead. And I don't want to put too much stock in that, but going by past performances, this is a hell of a start for 5fire.
Yeah, I'm really excited for no org. You know, I came into this because our analysts were all predicting no org, of course, and I always call them out for that because I want to see a lot of diversity on the desk and opinions. Make an argument, at least. So I want Barrage to put up a fight this series. I want this to be a damn close series. But this is a really rough early game. I don't think this is the solution.
Yeah, 5fire lands the Rune Prism. Fnatic won't find the kill. Gone Anton nearby, APA and Winter going in. PCL from the top side. Running away, flash over the wall, they'll get the shutdown. Fnatic finds the kill, and Barrage turned away. They've gotten their advantage, now they just want to run away with it and turn it into a Rift Herald.
This is something. This is much better than what they've been working with so far. Looks like, however, they will be scared off the Rift Herald by the presence of the entirety
they
of
shouldn't be. This should be winnable.
They're waiting for Gorica, I think, but he's not going to get there in time.
PCL top side, Winter in again. TP as well, this is going to be 5fire, APA in trouble. Cannon Barrage over the top, APA and Winter, they're both gone.
That was almost a beautiful fight, but no org was fantastic at shutting them down throughout. Realm Warp is going to come out there for 5fire, but not going to be enough to chase down. So the start of that fight, again, was like kind of okay. What is happening? Stop fighting. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to give you guys props. You're coming in here. You're saying, you know what? This time, the 6 times the charm. 5fire surely won't get a 7th kill.
Killer Instinct Flash. He stays alive with the flash over the wall. Gorka will back away. Fnatic finds the stun with the aid of Winter. Now they need to back away. Viper for the front lines, man.
APA looking for the taunt, finds it under value. Winter to follow it up. Meanwhile, 5fire gets shut down. 2 kills for Barrage. They're pulling it back, by God.
I do not know how to process this early game. The gold lead has been maintained for no org. Why would you need to import anyone when we have gameplay like this? Homegrown, baby.
You can't find it anywhere else, TJ. That's
Can't
for sure.
find it anywhere else. This is pure NA right now. Inject it into your bloodstream.
Delicious. Tastes like freedom. So from here, like, we haven't even had time to mention what the lanes are. This is a fasting Senna, in case anyone forgot that, with the fact that there have been fights constantly. We are 10 minutes in with 14 kills.
We are 10 minutes in with 14 kills. We are also... Don't do it.
It's happening.
We are also at a game state where Barrage have kept this gold lead within 2,000. And I think that's a net victory for them. I don't want to sugarcoat it. They do want to be ahead at this point in the game. They do want to be shoving the Rise and Senna into a downward spiral at this point into the mid-game. You want to have a lead here, and they do not. So that is worrying/problematic. But they are still within striking distance and can pull this game back if they're able to hit before the value hits second item, before 5fire really starts cracking there in mid.
I gotta say, TJ, oh god, PCL going in, looking for CC.
Fnatic here as well.
Chain, forces the flash from Viper. Anyways, talking about the gold lead, them keeping it within like 3K, sort of feels better than their macro deserves at this point, considering all the times they've gone in on these doomed fights.
Rift Herald will be summoned here in the bottom lane. Gurka and Winter should know, all to know, and to just destroy the ward, so they'll back away from Anta. Rift Herald will collide. This is going to be first turret of the game, picked up successfully by NoOrg.
Oh, and they're immediately pivoting onto the Dragon before the turret even goes down. This is really good from NoOrg, and Barrage have no response to this other than trying to set up another dive top, TJ.
They were indeed trying to set up another dive top. PCL is still doing pretty good in lane. Having the top laner experience right now. Guys, just play safe. I scale, don't worry.
The reverse Dyrus. He gets to play the video game, but nobody else on his team does.
We did set this up as like, man, PCL is going to be the pressure point. No, are going to pour a ton of resources into that top lane. And Barrage have defeated that win condition, to be fair.
Yes.
They have done it by throwing a level 1 and driving Gurka and APA ever further behind, leaving the top lane as the only winning lane for Barrage. But they have successfully gotten a winning top lane map.
You know what, TJ? That's true. That's very true. Unfortunately, NoOrg have found a lead everywhere else, and I don't mean every other lane. I mean literally every spot on the map is somewhere NoOrg have found a lead at this point in this game. There have been so many disparate fights throughout. What I think Barrage need is to calm the game state down a little bit. Stop the fighting, wait, find picks like this on the 5-Fire.
5-Fire is in trouble, will be locked down, trying to realm warp away, is zoned out of it, will get away. 5-Fire's fine, Matt.
Not an import, by the way, native mid lane talent for anyone who may be scouting.
And on the flank, looking for a way in, but we're busy because top side, Big is isolated. Value coming around the flank.
Not going to be there in time, I don't think. Fnatic coming in. APA with the hero's entrance forces a flash from Big. They're chasing him down. Fnatic doesn't have enough move speed just yet. Come on, a little bit more. The taunt.
He missed
from Big, but the collateral damage will be found there from Fnatic. But TJ, NoOrg are here.
Yeah, Winter coming around the flank, bring 5-Fire and Anta with him, and it dives right in, focusing down Fnatic. APA chained down, 5-Fire will get the kill. PCL in the bush, trying to stay alive, trying to focus Anta, can't get the kill. Everyone dies for Barrage. NoOrg only lose one, and this will be a turret down as well if they have the minions for it.
8, 3, and 2 on 5-Fire for NoOrg. This is the mid laner they want to play through. This is one of their major carries. Other one being Viper, and just this fight, he was completely untouched once he got there.
This ult, by the way, from APA was popped because he got attacked by Udyr. So he's like, darn, I've got to get out of mid lane because of getting ganked. Oh, that was rough. Because of getting ganked by Udyr, and he just ults into a different stupid fight. They do win it, but then 5-Fire comes through and he's just so big. Watch him land these run presents and just end the fight.
Well, the APA can't find any CC, and Anda is just running havoc in the back line of Barrage. And at that point, nobody is there to contest 5-Fire. I think that's the big thing in all of these fights. Nobody has time to focus on him. When they have, they've killed him. That's why he's 8-3 instead of 8-0. But these fights are so chaotic and spaced in such a way that 5-Fire is never open to being caught out.
5-Fire, if you're curious, does currently have 8 kills at the 15-minute mark.
We still have more kills than minutes, TJ. That's what I like to see.
Oh my lord.
Winter's just dead after this too. Fnatic dies immediately. Winter makes it out though, for now. And looking for the stun, won't be able to find it. Arm's too short. Viper in a little bit of trouble and then just turns it around onto APA and wins the fight with autos. Who knew?
He just walks up to the turret. He just walks into the turret. 1v choose the turret and APA.
I mean, that's kind of what happens when the Galio goes 0-6. But at the same time, yeah, that's really rough. At this point, it's hard for me to figure out how Barrage gets back in this game. Because before they were finding picks, right? Before they were finding some of these excursions that were working out for them. But at the moment, they're finding nothing but death. And that's really where we have to be worried. Because No Org will just plow through their mid lane with this lead.
This looks so chaotic because Barrage had, I think, that level 1 and went, well, send it. Not in a bad way, because I do think it's the right call. They say, this game is looking real bad. We got to try and make something good happen very fast. And unfortunately, no good things happened. No Orc have been able to keep up with the relentless aggression out of Barrage and are now thriving with a 10k gold lead and looking for more.
Anda coming in, finds the stun onto Winter,
this
and
TP?
jumps out very quickly. Winter is almost exploded, as is Fnatic. APA tries to come in with the hero's entrance, but won't find the follow-up taunt. And TP in from Viper is just unnecessary.
You do not understand.
Another kill.
You do not understand what just happened. APA just TP'd to Raptors and then ulted from Raptors into the fight.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that. Oh no. TJ, it's getting worse.
It is getting more powerful, that's for sure. Third Drake of the game.
PCL though, did you see that little juke? He's 100% dead.
PCL having a great game. Unfortunately, I think the fact that the rest of his team has just been suffering, I'm going to use that word, for the last couple of minutes, is finally catching up with him. PCL will lose, yes, another life here, and this should be a very clean game 1 from No Org.
Just want to highlight again, because I keep forgetting, then looking at the scoreboard and then going, whoa! 5 fire, 10-3 at 18 minutes. Sure, you expect that when he's like the big carry 25, 30 minutes into the game, game's over. But how about at 10 minutes? Doesn't mean the game's not over, though, to be fair.
So, I don't know, Matt. Let's try and kill 5 fire.
They found
they shot him out of the realm warp!
Okay, he's looking for kills, but he's just 1v4. He doesn't find anything so far, but he's making a show out of it. Finally, the shutdown comes down onto Fnatic.
APA actually finds a pretty huge knockup there. Keeps him out of realm warp. Anyway, turret's going to go down as a result of that.
This is the competitive manifestation of that solo queue game, where there's just like a kind of rough level 1. They're like, nope, GG next. And the entire team, the entire time, it's just like, I'm done. I don't want this. I feel like Barrage is finding anything. The desperation is clear, but it's working out. Florica may have found a way back into the game.
And it will kite away. Value around this side. Cannon Barrage did not find too much value on the value. Haha.
Very funny, TJ. I'm proud of you.
No problem. We're on the same page. I would say I don't think this is a case of Barrage GG nexting it. Oh dear.
No. I didn't mean to imply that at all. It's just one of those situations where the only way you can hope to salvage the game is by making desperation plays.
Right.
Because if you just try and play it straight, there is no way you come back into this game.
And I want to emphasize, this is what we always ask for. Whenever we're watching like a Dignitas, who actually did a great game today. But whenever we're watching like a boring NA team just be boring on the losing side of the map for 20 minutes, and we're like, good lord, just do something. Try. You know, Barrage are doing that, to be fair. They're not just sitting tight and waiting for mistakes to happen. They're trying to force them. Here's 5 fire. Realizes he needs to realm warp out because he had vision. Will realm warp to safety.
We appreciate the emote spam just for us, the observers, because there's no way there are any wards on him. But happy penguin indeed, 5 fire. Happy penguin indeed. So I think what Barrage is doing has, I don't want to say backfired, because this is about as successful as you expect it to be. But they're finding these minute picks here and there, but most of the time it just ends up okay, we just lost APA again. Because he's the one who's been forced to make a lot of these engages, right? Comes in with the hero's entrance, tries to initiate with the taunt, the Justice Punch, something. And then every single time, he's the first one to go down, and him dying is the canary in the coal mines, right? It's Barrage saying, oh, APA's gone, we gotta leave. And now he's 0-7. And
the man's not built Dark Seal.
That's smart. That's really smart.
It's normally next, Pat. I don't know what's up.
I wonder why APA doesn't think that Dark Seal is a great choice here.
He's deviating for the Gallia build, I know.
I'm scared and confused. Maybe it's something to do with the 0-7. I'm not sure. But that may have something to do with that.
Oh dear lord. All right, well, Cup Finals certainly off to a bang. I don't want to take so much away from this game because Barrage did just have that real rough level 1, and this was what had to happen afterwards, and their mental does seem to be surviving for what it's worth. So who knows how game 2 will treat us, but that is kind of what I'm thinking about at this point. Game number 1 sure does look over.
Oh my god, they're just going for the engage here in the mid lane. Winter gets stunned up, tries to find an escape. There's the heal out from Gorica. Hero's entrance into the back line. Not going to find a ton of damage. PCL, though, looking for it. And Gorica in the backline for value. Maybe able to find another one, but Gorica taking so much damage from 5Fire. 5Fire has to go golden in the back of this fight. Flashes away to safety, stays alive, and 5Fire somehow lives as No Org are clean to take this fight.
Damn, Barrage, that was weirdly close. Very, very good team fighting, all things considered. There was just no way they won that fight due to the item difference, but they really did team fight it well. Check out PCL's flank here, and the amount of value that he finds. Winter is just caught out. There's nothing that a Rel can do when they're this far behind because they're not a tank, and they certainly don't have any offensive ability. But PCL finds a ton of value here and then flashes away when he starts to get focused. Comes back through, and the focus is on 5Fire. This forces 5Fire to stasis, flash away. Very well played by him. And then the fight's over. But really, really did like what they went for. That was really good team fighting from Barrage, which of course we know they're capable of.
I think, honestly, if it weren't for Anda, 5Fire would be 100% dead in that fight, and they may be able to recover. Because Anda put so much pressure on Gorica and kept him out of the fight. If Gorica had been able to get that auto back onto 5Fire, I think that was just the end of the fight from there, because Gorica could just continue pumping out damage. But since there was no one around to zone off Anda, there's no way Gorica lives in that fight. This is something we've seen time and time again, where it's like, man, if Gorica weren't alone in this entire fight, maybe something could happen. But these fights keep happening where he gets forced to split off, or someone comes between him and the front line, and it ends up being real rough. That is, of course, Mountain Soul for No Org, by the way.
Yeah, Mountain Soul was picked up by No Org. I don't want to like put too fine a point on any like individual skirmishing here because I can't stress enough how much No Org just win a stat check at this point.
Oh boy, teleport's coming there.
This is PCL.
PCL coming in with the ultimate, looking for any CC whatsoever, but not finding it. PCL likely to be the first one to fall. There's the Realm Warp into the backline. 5Fire actually takes it.
It works!
Somehow survives.
That's gross.
All that damage. No Org melts the side of Barrage. The double kill comes out for value. The near ace, APA, ironically, the only one surviving that fight as No Org teleport down into the bottom lane, will very likely to end from here.
I'm going to ask production for a stat check here. Do we know what the quickest game this season was? Because I don't think it was this, but I bet we are uncomfortably close. As No Org in 25 minutes will be able to bring this game home.
This feels a lot like Barrage's Game 5 yesterday, but I'm looking forward to them coming back into it game number 2. Better level 1, that's all I ask.
That's all we ask, and I want to see maybe a little bit more collected, better level 1s into a better team fight from Barrage, as they will have a chance to turn things around. You won't want to miss it. The Cup-tacular conclusion to our season continues right after this.